Hey FlossTube, how's it going out there in the wonderful world of FlossTube? My name's Kat. Welcome to Kat Stitch, and for those of you that are returning, thank you so much for coming and thank you for subscribing. And for those that are new, prepare to be rambled and confused because that's pretty much me. I'm here to talk about my stitching mainly. Occasionally life does get in. You might see Bobby and Monkey, which are my cat and dog, make an appearance. And yeah, so that's pretty much what's happening. Today is Sunday, May 1st, so happy May Day, everybody. And it is FlossTube number 5. So I'll give you a quick overview of today. Now I'm actually coming, as you can see, from my new little room. I'm on the floor on a pillow because there ain't no padding back there, and that's why I got so sore yesterday. So I'm sitting on a pillow so that there's at least some protection from the floor and my butt. Telling you like it is. You know, the rest of me might have padding, but unfortunately that's one area that doesn't. Anyway, so I'm hoping that my camera is going to stay because it keeps, like, you know, going down, sort of thing, or moving. So chances are it's a bit wonky. I ain't touching it because every time I do, it just does something else. So I'm just gonna, you might just have to tilt your head a little bit to get me straight or something. Alrighty. So today we're gonna have a quick catch up with some of my news and that sort of thing. I have got some whips, some starts, some finishes. The big question, did I actually FFO anything this week as planned? And some haul, and to show you what my goodies are to give away when we hit the 100. At least start giving them away when we hit the 100. So, okay, so right, so an update first. Just got to save something from my dog. So last week we were going, my flatmate, my housemate, was going to be getting a dog, a rescue dog. And we got her Tuesday night. She's a beautiful dog. She's 2 years old, Labrador Staffy Cross. When they found her, they just called her Midnight because with no tags or anything. So my flatmate changed it to Mia. We were told she was about 2 years old, but we reckon she was younger because of just her energy and her, yeah. Now that means she needed time, that sort of thing. Wasn't my dog. I'll support my housemate with whatever animal he gets, but not my dog. And I had other plans for the week. Unfortunately, Wednesday, pretty much those plans went out the door because he went to work and she caused total havoc. So I wasn't able to focus on anything really, hardly any stitching. I got very behind in what my planning was for what I was going to do. So I was basically a day behind my plan. And then he took her with him on Thursday. So I managed to get a lot done on Thursday, which was good. Friday she was home again, and he got home early afternoon, so but yeah, and then that night she stole my dinner off the bench, which I just prepped, and the only thing I was waiting for was the meat, because I was making homemade burgers, you know, and I was just waiting for the meat to finish cooking to put on the buns. And I left the kitchen for a few minutes to come down and you know, grab my glass and stuff, and I came back and yeah, my plate was empty. No burger, no bun, coleslaw on the floor, and yeah, a bit of a grumpy cat because I only have one meal a day. And to have the dog and the cat didn't go down well. It had already been a long week. And, you know, very early wake-ups, because as soon as he went to work at 5:30, he should be making noise and wanting attention. And, yeah, so he realised that he wasn't in a position to change his lifestyle to accommodate this wonderful little dog, because she's very smart. She is. She's really intelligent. I've got a cat door, right? We've got a cat door on the back door. and Bobby can't get through it. It's not that I don't think he'll fit, he will fit, but because the step down is quite a way and he's a little dog, he'd probably be concerned about falling out the door rather than gracefully climbing out. Mia got out it because I was trying to work out how the heck did you get out of the house, because I had to leave her in because she jumped over the fence, but she managed to get out, so that was interesting. But needless to say that, you know, we were both very sad when she went back on Friday night. It had already been planned. Her just nicking my dinner was just the final farewell from her. I don't know. But she hasn't gone back to the pound. She's gone back to a rescue centre. So she's not going to get destroyed or anything. She's just going to find a home that has somebody that can give her the attention and love that she needs. And I'm sure that they will, because she really is a beautiful little dog. Well, you know, bigger than Bobby, but I don't have the inclination to train another dog, especially when it's not mine, and he doesn't really have the time. He's not in the right position at the moment to give her that time and attention that she'll need. So that was a bit of a sad. As you know, I turned 50 on Monday, and we'll just go on to the next subject. I don't have a problem turning 50. I was very excited. I just got very upset that it apparently wasn't worth celebrating by anybody else. So it's just another day, isn't it? Okay, so let's get on to, oh, the other thing. I'm going to put a link down below. In New Zealand for May, we are walking the talk. And if you're wondering what that is, it's for Youthline. Now, Youthline is something that's close to my heart. As somebody that, you know, has depression and social anxiety disorder, it's hard enough as an adult to deal with those, but for a teen or a youth, a young person, it's really, really hard when they think there's nobody there to listen and there's nobody there to support them. So Youthline is a fantastic phone service that is available, and I'm sure you've got something like that in the country that you're in. I hope so anyway, and how vital it is to help our youth. You know, the suicide rates are stupid, and really it shouldn't be like that. So what I've done is I've signed up for Walk the Talk, which is a sponsorship thing. So every day in the month of May, you do 31 minutes of exercise. It could be dancing, it could be walking, it could be, I don't run, so that'll never be me. But the reason 31 minutes is because that is the average time the Youthline calls are, 31 minutes. And so exercising for that. So I will put a link down below. If you'd like to help sponsor that, I would so appreciate it. Anything counts, $1 will do. And just, yeah, it's really, really important. My main exercise will be either walking or disco with Richard Simmons, because, you know, he's pretty cool, you got to admit. And I actually used him a lot when I was on my weight loss journey, or focused on my weight loss journey, and I lost 60 kilos. So, you know, and even now, if I go to the supermarket and or, you know, something like that, and I hear one of the songs from the DVD, I'm subtly, you know, doing the moves, just, you know, just sort of jiggle that way a bit, and little finger actions for the, you know, honestly, it is chronic. Anyway, so that link will be down below if you're interested. Thank you very much for taking the time to hear that particular part, if you did. Okay, now I am still trying to get the whole filmy thingy right. So please, if you've got any pointers or tips, just leave a note down below, or my email will be down below as well. So you can send me an email if you'd like to. So the first one is we're going to go through the whips, what I've been working on this week, and hopefully I'm going to try and not make too much rustly sound, because I did try and get everything organized this morning, but you know, I might have fallen short a little bit. So the first one is Aunt Bee's summer house, and that's where I was up to when I showed you this last week as my start. And then if I can just get it onto the board nicely so I can hold it up. So where are we? There we go. I don't know if that can be seen. Where are we? Ah, there we are. Okay, so that's where I'm up to now. So while I didn't get a lot done on here, I have now added colour rather than the white and the green. So I was happy with that. I might actually do a bit more work on her today because I still have the, usually I do a whole length, but something must have, I think it was, yeah, I think I got distracted by the dog. And so I've still got some of the length left, and I hate that. It's like, okay, we're going to go back and we're going to work on that one, girl, because that's bad manners, Cat, leaving it half done. So the next one that I worked on, and that's by Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting. Now, these are all free designs. She's very generous in her creativity in sharing that. I'll put their link down below for their blog, and that's where you'll find all the salt boxes plus a whole bunch of other really cute designs as well, and see some of her incredible work, her quilting. And I'm just like, you know, I'm still nervous of the sewing machine, and look at the stuff that she's coming up. Holy moly, it's just beautiful. Anyway, so I worked on that salt box. I worked on 4 salt boxes this week. So the second out of the 5. The second one that I worked on was Spring Green Salt Box. So this is where I was up to when you saw it last week. And here is where I've gotten it up to now. So, you know, plugging away at it just a little bit at a time. And I'm really, really liking doing these, I gotta say. I didn't expect to, but I'm really, really enjoying it. The next one is Willow, oh, this is wrong, Willow Wisp Manor of Holla Lane. And that's where I got up to when you last saw it. It was the first one I started, and I'm still working on it. But there we go. That's where I got up to. I'm not changing any of the colours in these. I'm sticking to the charted colours, which again is a new experience for me. It's something a bit different, but it's cool. Okay, so this next one I'm doing is a test stitch for FoxGlove Findlings, and I'll put her Etsy link down below. This one's called Black Cat's Welcome, and here it is here. And I only just started it at the end of the week, but that's where I'm on to. I'm stitching it on 14 count dark the Taurus by Mystic Fabrics, and it's opal, so a little bit sparkly. And it's a shadow, you know, silhouette one, so it's going to be all in black. Although I might switch out the word welcome for a dark purple or something like that. So those are my whips this week. That's what I've worked on this week. Next, finishes. What have I finished? With all the hullabaloo of the dog. With minimum sleep this week. And of course, this morning I finally slept in, and I'm going back to work tomorrow. Typical. Okay, so I would have shown you this one last week. I just started it on the Saturday night. And it was called Just Dragon Without My Coffee. And here it is here. That's what I showed you last week. Really basic. And then I actually finished this one on my birthday, so on Monday. So I started it on the 23rd of April, and I finished it on the 25th of April. There we go. So just dragging without my coffee. And I have now also put the thingy on the back of it. Put the thingy. to get it ready to be worked on later and turned into something. I live in hope. Now, I said that I worked on 4 of the 5 salt boxes this week. Well, the 4th one I actually finished. And the reason I finished it is because I've signed up to Magic Stitchdom. That's also another reason why the black cat got worked on. Magic Stitchdom is basically you're going to create your own theme park. And it's all about so many stitches. You know, you start up. You know, startup costs of stitching is like 300 for this and 200 for that and 400 for that and 100 to open, and then each of the rides are like 350 stitches. There's penalty stitches where it's like 500 stitches if you can't do something like that to get that ride or that shop or that restaurant, and that, you know, you just keep on creating your magic kingdom. I'll put the link for that down below as well, because it's actually quite a fun way really to stitch, and it doesn't have to be Disney themed, because I sure as heck don't have a lot of Disney themed stuff, but I do have stuff that I can use even in my Halloween stuff, but it's also why I'm sort of expanding a little bit. I think I've done pretty much nothing but Halloween for the last 18-20 months, and so I'm going to start incorporating some non-Halloween things, and just small ones, because dang if it won't have my attention to work on anything big if it's not Halloween. So yeah, so yeah, one of the ones to get my park opened was, you know, 400 stitches here and 200, and then to get one of the shops it was like 400 stitches on a winter or Christmas themed stitch. And I sort of thought about it. I thought, well, I sure as eggs don't have Christmas ones, but I got a winter one, and that was the winter salt box. So you are not sitting on that, it is not a pillow. So I pulled that out and I ended up finishing it, because by the time I did the 400 stitches after the other, you know, the previous 500 stitches, there's only another 100 or so to go, and I thought, well, I might as well finish it. I'm that close to the end, I'm not going to leave it, I'll finish it. So when you last saw the winter salt box, this is where I'd gotten up to last weekend, and then here we are with it finished, and I'm actually really pleased with it. It worked out really nicely. I think it's very cute, and these, when I do all the salt boxes, I'm turning them all into pillows. They're my pillow designs. So I don't know what a dough bowl is. I'm thinking, if I'm taking it logically, it's where people put their bread dough to rise. But I might be wrong. Or maybe it's already the cooked bread and you just put it into the, no, because it's not dough, that's bread. So yeah, I'm sort of thinking it's where you put your dough to rise. But if I'm wrong, please let me know. And the other finish I had last week was another test stitch by for FoxGlove Findlings. This one was her flower Taurus, and of course I had to do this one, it was my birthday. So I changed the red and the green. So this is what the design was, very straightforward. Doesn't look like it's too much, but there's just under 2,000 stitches. Okay, so I started this on Tuesday and finished it on Wednesday. Yeah, I worked it out last week. In total, I did around about 7,900 stitches. So I didn't do too bad really, considering I had a couple of days where I was hardly stitching. But this one is Taurus. Now I changed the leaves. There we go. Okay, so the leaves I changed, instead of the 2 greens of the chart. I don't know if it's still in focus. Yeah. Instead of the 2 greens that were in the chart, I changed them to a DMC 92 and a DMC 904, and I just combined those. And then the rose, I changed that to another of the variegated, I think it was 4205. and I just played around with the variegation when I was stitching it. So that's my Taurus, and that's going to get framed as well. So there we go. So I had 3 finishes, 4 whips worked on. Now the question is, did I fully finish anything? Well, I framed a couple of things, so I will insert pictures here. I framed what was probably my favourite one that I had a frame for, my witch on a broom, and I would show you it, but it's hanging up in my room. Of course, now that you're in my Zen room, I've got it hanging up in my bedroom. I've sort of framed a bunch of other ones, but I haven't set them in it because I know that it's not even in level, and I have a friend who's a lot better at lining all that up for me, so I'm going to get him to do it because, you know, it'll just keep him busy. But I did manage to fully finish something else, which about 11:40 last night I actually finished another project. It's all the stitching of the border that does my head in. Okay, so now this was supposed to be a Biscornu, and I don't like doing Biscornus. I'm happy with pillows. I think pillows, I like pillows. I like the puffiness of a pillow. Yeah, so it's a pillow, not a Biscornu. And it's one that, it was a basic spiderweb design from Etsy, but I changed, instead of just having, you know, the spiderweb and then the little spiders on the corner, on one side I did less of the spider webs and I created a big, whopping great big spider in the middle. Just was trial and error as I was stitching, so I never charted it. I was just like, oh, that'll fit. So I stitched it together last night and stuffed it with some stuffing. And I will say it was a lot easier this time to stitch the pillow together because my finger's nearly completely healed. It's a bit sore and I was a bit tentative, trying not to poke it with the needle when I was pushing things through. But there you go. And then I had watched Vonna Pfeiffer, her tutorials again last week, because I was trying to get ideas of how I'm going to be finishing this. Bloody here. And she mentioned, because I've got some of the little pom-pom trim, and I'm sort of thinking, how do you get it so that it's not, so that it's flush against the thing when you've got all this excess? And she said you just cut it off. So I sort of thought, I'm going to cut it off and see how I go. And now, it's not the neatest. I'm not professional at this. I'm still figuring it out and learning and trial and error to see which way works easiest for me. But by 11:40 last night, I not only stitched this together, stuffed it, and then closed it, I also added trim, which, woohoo, so it's a first for me. So here we go. So this is my finished spiderweb pillow. As you can see, and then we've got the spiderweb on the back. I was contemplating putting a charm or a button on it, but you know what? I actually like it like that. I think it works quite cool. So I'm just going to leave it as that. Because that way, you know, I might put, I don't know, a ribbon or something there, and so that it can hang up. I think I'm noticing where I haven't stitched it down now that I've got the light of day. So yay me, I just got to keep it off the floor, otherwise Bobby thinks it's a new toy. Yeah, lesson learned. Okay, now as in, this one here, I have nearly finished it. I'm just undecided if I'm going to do all the lattice work in the windows, so I'm just going to leave it like this. So it's called Gothic Window, and I keep changing my mind. It's like, yeah, that's going to be enough. And then I'm thinking, oh, yeah, but you know, the lattice really makes it. So I'm probably going to do the lattice. Yeah, it's just annoying because it's lingering, it's loitering in my shelf. Okay, so next month is Mania. Oh, sorry, this month. This month. We're in May now. Duh. It's been next month for so long. But we're in Mania. And my Mania challenges are 5 new starts, focus on 5 whips, and to fully finish 5 items. So 1 a week basically, because I also start my studies this afternoon. So I've really got to, you know, get into those and at least get through the first chapter and send my first assignment away by the end of the week. And yeah, so monkey, don't do that. It is not a toy. You did it anyway. Okay. What are you doing? Found. Okay, so I picked out the new ones that I'm going to do. Now, one of them I haven't printed up the front cover. I know I had, but with all the move, I've put it somewhere safe. We know I've got to stop doing that. So the first one that I'm definitely starting is Tiny Modernist Mushroom Forest. And these are the beautiful threads, and it's going on the white. So look at the colours. Aren't they gorgeous? Now these are all just DMC. I'm not going fancy. Even though it's going to be on the 14 count 04 white Ada. Don't know if you can see the sparkle, but we'll give it a go by moving it a bit. It's getting to the point where I'm struggling to see the screen, so I don't know what's happening. Okay, so that is the, you would say the magic mushroom. The mushroom one. Another one, which was part of a new stash, a new haul product, but it was one that I was going to be doing this week, is this one, my first needlework house, and it's called Coffee Time. You get 3 designs in this one, and it calls for Colorworks, so I thought, let's go with that. I haven't chosen the fabric yet, but this week my Colorworks threads all arrived. So again, part of my haul this week. It was a good haul week, I got to admit. You know, I celebrated my birthday by buying myself a whole bunch of stuff. Just celebrate it. You know. Here we go. Right, so where's that board? So that you can see the beautiful threads. Those are all the colours. I think there's a couple of extras that I was going to use on something else, and then I'd already done it by the time they arrived. So got a couple of extras, but those are the beautiful colours, and we have got, and they're all Colorworks. So we've got mistletoe, black coffee, mulled berries, deep blue sea, cocoa bean, ruby slippers, blueberry tart, Aunt Marie's violet, bamboo, house wine, pea pod, and second-hand rose. And those are all the ones, plus a couple of extras, for tea time. So that's going to be one of my new starts this month. So it's going to go back into that one. Put them all together. Monkey's determined to be an issue. Now this one I have been wanting to do for a while, and it was in a magazine as well, which is it's not a great print up of it, but it's another primitive here, Witchy Tea Time, and so that's going to be another one of my new starts. And then I'm still undecided about the other ones. So there's a couple that I've sort of pulled out that I'll think about. One is a Bothy Thread, the squirrel, because, you know, who doesn't like a squirrel? I love squirrels. even though I sometimes say it wrong. I do love squirrels. And then this one by Riolis. I have a distinct feeling she's probably going to be one that's going to get started. And then I have a few Quaker style charts in my pile. And I thought, well, I might actually start this one, which I like so much I nearly brought it again. Fortunately now I'm learning to check what charts I've brought off Etsy already, because I've already had 3 doubles which I've given away, the other one too. Now Bobby, get off this. In regards to the whips, again, that's sort of more up in the air. It just depends on my mood more than anything else. I also have these little things to get done. So whether I'm going to do them or whether they're going to end up in the pack of stuff that's going to get awarded out or whatever, I don't know. I'm just going to move that over there. Oh, I didn't. Now it's not in the frame properly. It's not pressed or anything like that. But I sort of thought, there we go. I've got it, at least in a frame. And I'll show you a picture of the other one that I framed up similar. But again, not perfectly framed. I'm not a framer. Definitely not a framer. Yeah, so I'm not going to show the whips that I originally pulled out, because I really don't know if I'm going to do them. I stitch to my mood, and I think that's the way that you should always stitch. You shouldn't make it where you're stitching something you don't want to stitch because, oh look, I've started it, I need to keep stitching it, because sometimes that's where it triggers maybe the loss of the stitchy mojo that we all have. And you don't really want that to happen. You want to enjoy what you're working and spending hours and hours and hours on. And that's another reason why I'm pulling apart a bunch of my whips and my kitted projects. Like, hang on, I'll reach over. All of these are threads from my kitted projects that I'm going to be putting away. It's going to be a bit of a long job, but I decided to be really realistic, and that is, if I don't think I'm going to pick it up and start it in the next year and a half, so to the end of 2023, it's to be unkitted so that those threads and fabric can be used on something else. If it's one that I've started that I started in 2020 and I haven't put a single stitch on, and it's just not wanting to be stitched on, then it's getting dismantled. And if that means throwing the whole thing out, then it gets thrown out. There might be one or two, like if anyone is interested, and if you've got the chart, because I tend to only get PDFs, because the price of postage is ridiculous. So the majority of my charts are PDF. So if you signed up to Stitchonomy's Halloween SAL, oh, here it is, then let me know, because you're welcome to have this. As you can see, it is started, all the frame is on there, you just need to fill it all out. We can unpick it and you can keep the fabric or whatever. It's just a 14 count one that I dyed. So, if you think you can make use of it, let me know, preferably in New Zealand, because sending something like this overseas, not so much. So we might as well do, see, I've got this box in front of me, we might as well do the stuff that will be coming up for competition and prizes and stuff like that. So we have a bunch of charts. Here we go. So there is this whole series from Imaginating. So there's the stained glass windows. So autumn, spring, summer, winter. I've probably said them all wrong. Okay, you know what I mean. They're all 4 seasons. By imaginating, they are. Okay, so they're 138 stitches high by 183 wide. I think it's the other way around. 183 by 138. So 183 up and down by 138. So that's going to be one giveaway prize. We've got these ones, which are old ones, pre-loved. There's Merry Mice. And there is Harvest Moon. Now I'm just showing you what is in the grab box, because when we get to the 100, from that moment on, I'll start doing giveaways. Okay, this one is called Lavender Wings by, no, it's called Poet's Heart by Lavender Wings. So there's that one there. So that's why I'm not giving any keywords or anything like that, because they're not up for grabs yet. Okay, now these ones here are kits. This one has a broken dowel, but it's still perfectly fine. These are a jeweled calendar kit for 2022. So I know we're nearly halfway through the year, but it'd still be nice to hang up on the wall. And there's all the sequins and things like that in them. So I really want to try and give those away. Otherwise, I'm just going to take them down to the op shop. So there's that one, the lighthouse, and in the kitchen. Okay, so that's those. Then there are 2 bookmark kits by Vervico, both cat and dog ones. Now I was going to do them, but I can't stitch in hand. I have tried and tried, and the fabric is too small to fit in my smallest frame or stuff like that, and I don't have little tiny hoops, and I'm not going to go out and buy hoops just to be able to do these. So there's that one there, and that one there. Whether all of these things become available or not, I don't know. Okay, I'm just showing you the sort of things that are going into the box to be rehomed. And then there's that one from Satsuma Street. I have also got loads and loads and loads and loads of grime guards. I'm not 100% sure on the sizes for some of them. I think it's like a 4-inch one. It's an 11 by 17, and that is a 11 by 17 as well. I started getting them, and I sort of started using them when I first got them. Sorry about the noise. When I first got them, but I got more frustrated with the grime guard keep coming over and making my stitching space smaller. I like stitching right to the edges, you know, otherwise what the heck is the point of having this, you know, that size frame? But unfortunately I could never get the knack of using those, so my whole collection is going to be going for those. So let me just put those back in that box. So there's box number 1, that'll get labelled giveaway stuff or rehome or something like that. And then okay, so we have got a project bag. This is a 17-inch one, vinyl front. It doesn't match the rest of mine, so I don't want it. It doesn't match the rest of my stuff. We have more charts. There's the koala. These are all the Biscornu, the wizard, the unicorn, I think it is, and the hedgehog. Yeah. So these are all going into the get out of the house box. This one, the bag broke open, which is why it's in a plastic envelope, but it's the full kit for Spaniel. This one is the full kit for Derwent Waters Village Locks Sunsets. This is before they went with Bothy, so this was a pre-Bothy release. There is the chart for Whip, my Pickle Barrel, and the Halloween 4-pack, my Pickle Barrel. Ebony and Ivory. So there are some, you know, different things coming up that I'm going to be rehoming. Eat, Drink and Be Scary. Stitchy Fish, which I have already stitched it, so I don't think I'll stitch it again. That's going to get turned into a pillow when I find where I put the dang thing. This one I'm undecided on. It's an anchor design, it's very cute and stuff like that, and I'm thinking, is this one of those ones that I should be keeping so that I can have a break from all the Halloween? Undecided. That one there. Christmas card kit. Little mini kits like this, bear hugs. Love You to the Moon and Back. And Support, which I think is quite a funny one. We've got a bookmark, Charles Craft, a little fox freebie, and this one here, it's still fully kitted, it's just no longer in the plastic bag that it came in, is this one here. So all of this stuff will start making appearances in the giveaways that I'm going to do, and chances are more will get added as I become tougher on myself and rehome stuff. So that is box number 2, and that's what I'm going to basically put something like giveaway or something like that on those. And then what did I get in my haul this week? Hang on, I need coffee. Oh, it's probably going to burn my mouth. I'm so tentative because I know it's hot and I don't know when it's going to come out and burn my tongue, which it usually does. Let's put that back up there. Okay, so my haul this week. There's a little bit of stitchy. I mean, as you saw, I got the Coffee Time and the Colourworks threads. The Coffee Time I got from Art and Frame down south, and all the lovely threads I got from Ribbon Rose up north. So I'm sort of spreading it around in New Zealand, you know, because, you know, New Zealand, because we can do that. Now on our New Zealand Stitchy site page, whatever, every Friday people can post things that, you know, wanting to sell. Friday is the selling day, and or rehoming day, whatever. And there were a couple of things that sort of jumped out at me, and I sort of thought, I actually had someone else in mind for one of them, and that was the Bar Bet. So the sheepy alphabet. I know that in New Zealand everyone thinks we've got sheep in our backyard. We don't, just saying. Although I'll tell you a funny story about that. Quite a few years ago, looking at probably about 22 years ago, I lived over in Featherston, and the house that I lived in had a farm behind it, right? And Bobby, at that time, I used to listen to a lot of American radio shows, because, you know, internet, incredible thing, even back then. And we also had special deals in New Zealand where you could ring overseas. And so sometimes I'd ring some of these American radio stations, particularly the country ones. I listened to a lot of the American country music stations, which was really cool. And I remember one of the first times that I rang up and they said, you know, where are you from? And I said, New Zealand. And they said, oh, New Zealand, you guys all have sheep in your backyards, don't you? And I said, no, I did. Because we had a couple of the sheep, you know, we had the sheep literally in our backyard. There's the fence and you could see the sheep. And I see, you know, so it was quite funny. Not a great representation of what New Zealand was like back then. But no, I loved it. I loved talking to them and having fun with them. And that just sort of reminded me of back then a little bit. So I got that one. And this one here I got is called Kitty Litter. It's a Stony Creek. And I'm just going to see if we can see some of those. They are just so funny. And I'm just like, oh yeah, I can see myself doing a series, in all honesty. I'm not sure I'll do all of them, but a lot of them are going to make an appearance. So now you know what perfection looks like. Experience is what you get when you don't get what you wanted. Shopping, the art of getting things that you don't need with money you don't have to impress people you don't like. So going to be doing that one. Help, I'm on the phone and I can't shut up. I should say in front of the camera and I can't shut up. That's okay. I love seafood. When I see food, I eat it. I don't know if I'm going to do that one because I'm not a big food nut. I quite often forget to eat. Or I think that I've eaten and it's not until a few hours later that I remember, you know, that I realise, oh, no, because I get distracted. If food's put in front of me, I eat. Otherwise, I don't think about going and getting food a lot of the time. Before you give someone a piece of your mind, make sure you can get by with what's left. I think I'm going to have to do that one so that I can have it on my desk at work. I think that would be a good work one, don't you? And to get into heaven, it's who you know that counts. I don't think so. No pain, no gain. Yeah, I'll probably do that one. A moment on the lips, forever on the hips. Yeah, I'll probably do that one too. One spoiled rotten cat lives here. Most definitely going to do that one. Don't think about it was this big. Don't think so. And you can make more friends with your ears and your mouth. So there's a few. I'm not going to do the whole lot, but there are a few that I'm going to do. So there was that. Now, the lovely Judith, who does all of my project bags up there, she sent me, because Anzac Day is a holiday, I got it on Tuesday. Beautiful birthday card. Isn't it lovely? Lovely dog. We like the dog, and quite honestly, that looked very much like Mia, which was very scary. But she knows I love Rendale, and she got a lot of, you know, she got a bunch of the fabric and stuff like that, and she made me a small notions bag. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the characters. I love the badger. Badgers are one of my favourites, I've got to admit. And then turn it over, and we got the lovely bunnies, and we got the fox and the poppies, because, you know, Anzac Day, we've got to have our poppies, and a beautiful leaf zipper tag. I was actually quite emotional when I opened it. It was very, very thoughtful. And okay, next. Okay, so I got some of my AliExpress things as well. So I got some more stickers. I'm slowly starting to build up the stickers. It's just really hard to find any that suit me and my style in New Zealand. It really is. It's freaking annoying. But I managed to get some more little ones, little Halloweenies. These ones are gorgeous. Little witches and stuff, all in nice purple tones, because purple is the colour of magic, just so you know. And then, of course, some mushrooms, because, you know, oh, there's a squirrel. Look, see the squirrel? Squirrel. Squirrel. Got to get the squirrel in. We like the squirrel. Squirrels. Now the other thing I got from AliExpress now are these little things, and I'm thinking I'll probably use them in my journal. That's the only thing I'm going to be using them for. But they're these little things, and I don't know if you can see them. Okay, so what they are is a little, so instead of it being perfectly flat, it gives them a little bit of a height thing, but they're all double-sided, so you peel off each side to stick things down, or you can stack them and then make things higher to put in the book. I just thought they were just, you know, handy, especially for what I want to do. So now from Office Products, because I needed, you know, some of my bags are still the wrong size. It's because I've run out of the size that I'm turning them all into, which is the 65 by 75. And I've still got some of the 75 by 100 or something like that. And I want the smaller ones because they just fit very nicely and they sit really nicely and stuff like that in the container. So I had to get some more. So I got another 250 of the little darlings. I've got extra threads I haven't even put on them yet. And then I've got to get these around the right way. So those ones are Spotlight. Okay, right. And then from Ribbon Rose, I got some more scraps of fabric. Now, I'm thinking I'm going to be basically patchworking or something like that with these because I only got, you know, like 10 centimeter pieces. I just wanted to see what the fabric was like in person. But one I might actually order some more of because I think it's beautiful. And that's this one here. Absolutely gorgeous. And I was thinking, oh, you know, that's enough autumny that I could make use of that on some pillows. It's not wide enough to use on my pillows, but I'm going to get some more of that one. This one is a nice ombre, so it changed colour quite nicely. But again, it's the sun comes out. I can't see. Can you see that on the screen? I don't know. Can you? Dang it. Okay. So I'm still going to make use of it, even if it's not quite the sort of colour I want or anything like that. But that's the thing, when you're buying online, it's good if they're willing to sort of do it in a really small amount, because when you see it in person, it's always different than when you see it online. You know, you sort of think, oh, yeah, yeah. And then it comes, it's like, oh, you know what? It doesn't quite look how I thought it would be, you know? And so Ribbon Rose is fantastic. They'll do 10 centimeter pieces. I thought this one I'm probably going to get slightly more so I can get more of the building stuff in. But little house, you know, doors and windows. And I just sort of thought that is really cute. You know, that is. It's I can actually make use of that. I can imagine doing a pillow with something like that one sitting in the middle at the back, like it's a door, you know? See, my brain can come up with all these things. Whether my abilities can match what the brain comes up with, it's another question. And then, of course, who doesn't like a garden gnome? I might kill everything in a garden, but I do love the gnomes. Again, this is one that you'd need to get a bigger piece so you can get a clearer picture of the images. But, I mean, I might get a 20 centimeter piece so I can get a few of them at least. And then I can make use of those images. So I'll put them in a different pile. This one is definitely a beautiful rainbow, I must say. It's a Maywood fabric. Look at that. Got to admit, that's pretty rockin'. That is a beautiful piece of fabric. What I'm going to do with it, I don't know. That might get put between two pieces of black or something. I don't know. And then this, when I make my pillows, I'm going to see if I can stitch one of these on the back. They're little they're woven labels that you stitch on, and it says made with love and swear words. I'm like, oh my god, I need to get those because it is just, sorry, it's shaking. it's like, trust me, there's blue ear when I'm when I'm stitching that stuff on. So I sort of thought, right, well, I'm going to get those, because I can guarantee when I start doing some of these other ones, these other styles, the flat folds and or just the flat ones, and using the sewing machine, I can guarantee there is going to be some blue ear going on. So quite frankly, and also from Ribbon Rose, I got some tailor's chalk so I can actually mark my fabric when I'm going to cut it out and things like that. I just sort of thought I should probably get some. I don't know if I'm going to ever use it or need it, but I just want to be on the safe side of having what sort of things I think might be needed. I mean, I remember in intermediate using that sort of stuff. So there you go. Now from Spotlight, I was watching Vonna last week, and she was making a project bag, like a sort of a fold over one, but a really simple one. But she used something called fusible fleece or fusible something to give extra padding. So it's not interface, which is all thin, but it's to give padding to the bag. And I thought, I don't know if I'm ever going to get good enough on a sewing machine to make something like that, but I might, and you know, maybe I should get some of that fusible fleece, because that might come in handy, even when I'm doing things that aren't a project bag, like some of these flat finishes or pillows or a wall hanging, you know, which is something that I want to try and figure out how to do, because a few of my pieces, there's no way I'm going to get a frame for them, not without spending a lot of money, and I don't have the money to spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds on frames. I know I've spent a lot of time stitching these pieces and things like that, but I also know they're just going to end up in an op shop at some point. So if that, so no, I'm not spending, they're not going to be heirlooms. They're not going to be something that's going to get passed down generations or things like that. So I'm realistic about that, you know. I do it for my pleasure. What happens in the future, it happens. I'm not going to be around, so I don't care. But I managed to find, I mean, a lot of them have like bolts and bolts, and you have to buy in the meter. I'm like, I don't want to buy in the meter. I just want to pack, you know, so that it's all nicely packaged up. So I got this. I don't know if it's the right one, but we're going to give it a go, and we're going to see. I don't mind experimenting on stuff like this. I really don't. I think it's part of the fun. I'm going to use some cheap fabric to try some stuff out on. I'm not going to use expensive stuff. Speaking of fabric, I also got a few more flat quarters. These are all sparkly ones, which are quite nice, but they all have a little bit of sparkle. Oops, we do that, cat. So I quite liked them, and I just sort of thought they can come in handy again. And there was another nice one which had, and of course I tied it as a knot instead of a bow because I'm an idiot. Oh, such an egg. Oh my god. It's like I was, you know, like I said, I've been watching a lot of YouTube. I'll just do it that way. Been watching a lot of YouTube, and people are making the whole zip thing really simple, apparently. So I got a couple of zips because they're on special, and I just sort of thought, why not? That way at least I've got them if I, you know, if I decide I want to make something, and you know, some small ones as well. These might end up in the giveaway box. But some other fabric that I got from Spotlight as well, and these are all fat quarters too, are these. I think these are beautiful fabrics. I can just sort of, you know, see them on either the back of the pillows or as a background for a flat finish, and stuff. And they've got a little bit of sparkle to them, so a little bit of shine, like the gold is shiny. And I just sort of thought, wow, these, I like those. So I got the pack. It was a pack of 5, pack quarter bundle. So it's FQB, so it's that fat quarter bundle blender. It's a blender. It's by Fabric Palettes. For the creative you. I was thinking, what the heck is that there? So it's by fabriceditions.com for project ideas. Okay. In South Carolina. There we go. Right. Now I have actually this month, I have actually been noting stuff down in my diary, not in my journal, but in my diary, so that when I do get to doing journaling, I can actually start from this month rather than from whenever I finally get it started. I have got project stuff put aside to, you know, completed ones already put aside that are going to end up in the book, probably just as decoration, not so much as this is this chart or anything like that. It's just for decoration. Now you might have remembered me mentioning my little mini iron and ironing board. This is my iron and my ironing board. Yeah, this is it. And it just can sit on the table when I get one. But yesterday I again spent a lot of hours putting all the interfacing on and ironing all my things as I was, because I was trimming yesterday. Look, all fingers still intact. See, I improve all the time. But yeah, so I spent a lot of hours yesterday ironing and getting that stuff ready. What's in these? Oh, okay. And then I've got another little table, you know, the breakfast table that you put on that side. And now the sun is really coming out and making it hard to see anything. So I think that's pretty much it. So just remember, when we hit 100, I will start doing giveaways and things like that. This week I am focusing a bit more on study, but I'll also be doing a new start, working some more on those Saltbox houses. And yeah, if you have come along and you liked what you've seen, and hey, I didn't ramble as much as I usually do, so bonus. Just please subscribe, hit the little dingle bell, and I'll see if, hang on, I'll see if I can get the cat to come in. Voice is a bit croaky, so just forgive me, it's probably gonna be a bad day. Listen now to the wind, baby. Listen now to the rain. Come on. Gonna feel that water licking in my feet again. Here we go. So from me and Monkey and Bobby, you guys have a great week. And remember, march to the beat of your own drum. That's where the magic gets created. Take care, everyone, and catch you next time.